these stupid stockings swinging all over the place here. But nonetheless, we do have 3 at 3. I know that's what you're here for, so let's get to 3 at 3. 3 at 3, presented every business day by me, Jon Najarian, for Market Rebellion Television. We thank those of you who have already subscribed to either Market Rebellion or to our YouTube channel. Thanks for joining us today. This disclaimer says that what I'm about to describe for you is an investment, and investments involve risk. So I would say you need to decide how to trade or how to act on any of the information I provide. I'm providing it for educational and informational purposes only. Full stop. Intellectual property rights, yes, we have patents, trademarks, copyrights, registered marks on everything that you're about to see. So prior to just using it, please ask us. I can't remember the last time we turned somebody down. And please cite Market Rebellion when you choose to ask for our permission and then to use it. All right, so Pete talking about Walt Disney today. Why was he talking about Walt Disney? Well, because there were about 18,000 of the calls that were trading in Walt Disney. They were the December 180s. As you know, December ends officially this Thursday. And that is a full day of trading, not a half day. Full day of trade Thursday, and that will be the 31st of December, which means that these calls expire Thursday, not on a Friday as they normally might. So December 180 calls, as you see there, they've been active since the 21st, but not nearly as active as today, where we see now over 20,000 of these changing hands. Also, December 177.50 calls. Pete pointed this out as well, because they bought an awful lot of these calls, aggressively purchased, and this was an in the money. The other was an out of the money. These are in the money. And we wanted to point out both to you. There is Disney as it's moved up over the last 5 days. This is a 5-day graph. So there you see the jump today from approximately just below 174 to a high of 180, and now at 178.52. Like it, I do believe that this is a prudent way to play it, because the people that were buying these calls were spending a lot less money than they would buying the stock. The trade-off is it's only for 3 more trading days, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. That's it. So be aware of that before you just jump on these. Time decay is severe. I'd encourage many of you who haven't already to please sign up for Market Rebellion YouTube channel. It's a free subscription there. If you click on subscribe, you see the button there that we've highlighted for you. You will then subscribe and be aware of all of the videos that we do. There are over 1,000 of them up there right now. And Pete has done 243 or more episodes of The Take. I have done, I think, nearly that many of 3 at 3 and 3 at 3, The Take, my 60-second workout video, and so forth. All of these are up there for free. All you have to do is subscribe to get them. Bang. That's youtube.com, and then just go to Market Rebellion channel. Let's talk about Takata, T-A-K. As you see here at partway through the show today that Pete was on, halftime runs from 12 until 1 Eastern time. At 12:23 Eastern, we noted bullish call buying in Takata, T-A-K. They bought 4,000 of the April 1750 calls, and they paid about $1.58 for them. That means that each option, if it was paid $1.58, was actually $158, because every option is for 100 shares of stock. So if they buy 4,000 of these for $1.58, yeah, that's a pretty good chunk of money. $600,000 out like that. Bet on the upside, but these are April, so they have a long time to be right on this particular trade. We will follow it along with you. I am in the calls, these same calls, and I'm writing calls above the market as we rally. Hopefully we see a significant rally and I can sell a lot of my position. But letting you know what I'm doing right now. Separately, as you see, 3,800 of the Feb 20 calls, another out of the money rather than in the money call was purchased as well. And here's a graph of Takata. You see it from the beginning of the day, 1790, trading up to about 1830, and then easing back by about 15 cents to 1815 as of 2:40 Eastern Time. If you would like to learn more about anything that we do over at Market Rebellion, we would encourage you to go to marketrebellion.com/get started. You could get started in options. Never traded options before? Perfect. We have beginner courses, intermediate courses, advanced courses. You can do them all remotely from your desktop, from even your cell phone, if that's what you choose. We have all of that available. Just check it out, marketrebellion.com/get started. Let's take a look at another one. How about Facebook? Look at this one. Facebook bullish call buying with the stock at 266, let's call it this morning. They were buying 8,600 of this Thursday. The 31st of December is Thursday. 31st December, 275 calls, bought mostly for 49 cents. So they paid $49 for the right to buy at $275 a share Facebook, with the stock $9 lower than that at 266. How's that working out so far? You tell me. Because it ran from that early morning print when they were cheap all the way up to about 276, 277, close to that. And as of 2:37 Eastern Time, they were up at 275.77, which means they were worth at least 77 cents, and probably a lot more than that, because they, of course, have embedded in them the risks of buying the stock, selling the call, which means you naked short the put. So I'm guessing that these calls have been a really strong winner for any of you who followed us in this one. And I'll be in this one probably for another day or two. Love the upside here. Love that big pop out of Facebook, and just kind of selling calls into it at the money calls, because I didn't buy, as I usually don't, those 275s when the stock was 266. Instead, I was buying the, I think it was either 268 or 270 calls, and now selling 75s against them. Bang, 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 banging them out. That's how I trade. All right, let's do another. Let's do Google. Googl. Now, some of you hardliners are going to say, it's not Google, John, it's Alphabet. Okay, Alphabet. So anyway, with Google, we see 2,500 of the December 31st, so in other words, Thursday, again, this week, expiration 1,800 calls. So, as you see, the stock was $1,766 a share when they purchased these calls. Now, you could get in there and buy 1,000 shares of this and put $1.7 million on the line if you so chose. I'm not judging. Go ahead. On the other hand, you could do as this trader did and buy calls. This trader bought the calls for $2.78 up to $7.50. Let's pick a number in between and say $6. If you paid $6, that's $600. 10 of them would be $6,000. A 10 lot would control 1,000 shares of stock, since each option is for 100 shares of stock. So 1.766 million to control 1,000 shares of stock by buying the stock and having all the risk of that downside, or $6,000, which is so minute, it doesn't even bother. I don't even bother describing how big the leverage is on this one. And all you got to do is get a move towards 1,800, and this one makes you a ton of money. Now, that's not investment advice. It's how I traded it. So take a look at where it is right now, 1775. So it's already up $9, those calls moving up. And that is a graph, a 5-day graph, showing you the stock moving up from basically breaking out from that $1,733 level all the way up to here, a $41 rally today. Bang! That's why we trade options, my friends. By the way, we also trade crypto. Many of you heard me say on the halftime report repeatedly that I've been in it since 2017. My hat's off, literally, figuratively, to Charlie Schramm and Anthony Pompliano and Tone Vase and Max Kaiser, so many good friends, Peter Brigger, that got me involved in this. And I'm happy to say that I have also described on the halftime report in the last several weeks, as I was taking money off the table in stocks, that I had been piling it in from 17,000 up to 20,000 in Bitcoin. Some of you were, let's say, just a little critical of that. But when it hit 28,000 today, I bet there weren't too many critics out there. You know what I mean? Anyway, we'll talk more about this. We can also show you how to trade crypto, by the way, folks. We are starting up a crypto hedge fund, and one of the many offerings at Market Rebellion is access to crypto education, crypto chat room, crypto watch lists, and crypto charting. We've got it all at Market Rebellion. Come check it out. I strongly encourage you to do it. We also have an app for your iPhone, so you can do all of that on the app as well. It's in the App Store. Just go to Apple's App Store and type in Market Rebellion. Questions? Yeah, for those of you who sent them to Jon Najarian or to 3@3UOA, let's get to it. First one comes from A Partner, which is the letter A, P-A-R-T-N-E-R, 7. A Partner 7 says, Jon Najarian, if you make a trade like Space and make targets and exit, and it drops back to the original price, do you re-enter the same trade again or one and done? I do one and done. Unless, A Partner 7, unless somebody comes along and buys more, either calls, which I'd bet on the upside, or puts, and I'd bet on the downside. Absent that, just because the trade worked and we took profits doesn't mean that I want to jump right back in when it pulls back. In fact, I do pretty much the opposite. I put on blinders. I don't even want to look at that stock unless it pops up again on my heat seeker, because there's a million, as you've heard, buses come by all the time. So if you miss one, there'll be another. I think the same is true of stocks. And I want to be where the fast money is, where the smart money is. So we wait around A Partner 7 for the times when people are aggressively buying upside calls or downside puts. And then we basically, like a surfer, just start paddling along with them and go that direction. So this has played out nicely. We took our profits last week. The stock has pulled all the way back. I am not reloading unless they reload, and then I'll jump back in. Thank you for asking. Rearview mirror. All right, Mark Liebman, and his Twitter account is Mark Scott 1967. That is Mark Scott 1967. Who wants to bet that Scott's his middle name, huh? Who wants to bet he was born in 1967? Well, just a wild guess, Mark. But I appreciate the question, sir. I hope we can get you some love from Twitter by mentioning you. Let's see. Najarian makes sense again. The easy money is only easy in the rearview mirror. Those using terms of this sort have no smarts or balls to make easy money, nor the common sense to not bemoan those who take smart risks. I agree, Mark. It's always kind of confusing to me when somebody said, well, the easy money's been made. If it was easy, it wouldn't have been made, because we all know the market is more or less a frustrating mechanism that frustrates the majority of investors most of the time. That's why we follow smart money. So we don't pretend that we know what's going to happen in the market. I might have strong feelings on a given day or a given quarter, which we're about to start a new year, of course. In just 3 more trading sessions, we'll be done with 2020. But when we do start those new quarters, new years, when there's some sort of impetus that might make me say, hey, I like that catalyst, I'm going to be long this stock, that's one thing. That's my experience talking. On the other, I like to follow really smart big traders when they're making big outsized bets. So neither of those two are easy. It's not easy to put your butt on the line or another part of your anatomy on the line, as Mark Scott would say. It's not easy to do that. It's never easy to do that, especially with real money. We're not just talking about trades, we're actually doing them. So it's one thing if somebody comes on CNBC and says, oh, the technical setup is this or that or the other thing. Do you have money in it? No. My firm doesn't commit capital, or we don't, neither me nor anybody in my family nor anybody I've ever met. You get the idea. I like the diversity of opinions that we get on CNBC. I also really like and respect the trading side, because that's what I am, a trader. I think many of you traders also. So I like following smart money with the trades, and it's never easy money. But after it's happened, and after you see a whole bunch of something trade, and all of a sudden the stock pops $3, you may hear me say, well, that was all too easy. But it was never easy while we were doing it. It's easy after the fact. As Mark Scott, 1967 says, in the rearview mirror, it's always easy on a winning trade. We also never bet enough on a winning trade, have we? Steps. How many steps do you get in a day, John? Well, let me see. I'm glad you asked. Bing, bing, which is Dingus Prime _. Dingus Prime _. I love that. Let me see. So far today, Dingus, I have 12,700 steps. My average, my average steps for the month is 10,223. That's 7 days a week. So during the week, I get more steps in, Dingus, because I'm walking on the lakefront with that weight vest that you see me with and those 10-pound weights. And I do that, I probably get in the neighborhood of 6 miles round trip going up and back. On the weekends, I don't hit it quite as hard, and I rarely wear the weight vest on the weekends, but I like to get out and walk anyway because I like the way it lubricates your joints and just makes you feel better. And especially with this crazy COVID going on, my friend, I think we all need to keep ourselves in as good a shape as we can, eat as nutritious a meal and healthy as we can, and probably supplement with a lot of vitamin D and so forth. So I do all of that. But thank you for asking, sir. Any of you that I inspired to similarly go out and walk more, run more, whatever, I'm grateful to be that inspiration. For those of you who I follow who do all those things, I'm grateful for you going out and doing all that, because you make me inspired to go do it even harder. So thank you. And that's it for the day. If you'd like to learn more, go to marketrebellion.com/UOA. That is marketrebellion.com. Put that / in there, UOA, for unusual option activity. Thank you for joining me today, folks. Been a few days since I've seen you. I appreciate you being here, and I hope you have a great day wherever you are. Thank you. See you tomorrow on the halftime, too, by the way. Bang.